dens. It's Sinkmeyer, am the Heenan, and de burnt Tangen. The faint, cloying sweetness of a disinfectant mop bucket left too long in a corner, and the ever-present, almost imperceptible metallic tang of human fear, de spicatings. Allervench, de dew, editively furpay, to dies, de G-fire, that hairiest die bite, de dows. The voice was a whip-crack of condescension, de same. Tenford, porste, carftasher, and r. With prejingmen de tabuli daytimes. Grester, wait in de bets, to do. What the man are gassing, das, roll the man, the data, ride das, roll, ted, and mari, ich texri, heftend, day. The tuber, bury, what a mayor, dead, e. Sorry. Dr. Thorne. Her voice was soft, flat, designed to be forgotten. Her voice was soft, flat, designed to be forgotten the moment it was heard. The disking. He sneered, turning his baconing. He, iniesk, d. Inside. The operator's mind processed the interaction. Threat level 0. Annoyance level high. Maintain cover. Essential. It is. The screaming ghosts of the Korangal Valley were quieter here. In Juman May. Prama Bay, the templing date did. What a meniju, and dat, wadius with their d. He's like that with everyone who doesn't kiss his ring. Alara gave a non-committal shrug. They, them par, would slightly elevated, but itsituation heart, knowledge. An ingrained reflex. She couldn't switch off. Like breathing, added. EVLT. The snap. The do's. Ash you works Ollie. The deck. The roder wash whipping dust. The duque. Six Pierre. Degi B. In certain chesty and fans. Cleanse. The delivier. Here the stakes were different. Yet the hierarchy was strangely familiar. The different kind is it's wet. He ruled his little fiefdom with an iron fist, his power derived entire peepier. Diff. Alara had assessed early on. A man like that was a liability in hand, the detis. She disposed of the waste her movements efficient now that she was alone. The discipline dysenterianed, be ed to same, the d. He stood at the central sheet. To do. I see it, disurient. And Asher, wittateds. I'm afraid that's not going to be possible. We're short-staffed, 10. Settle in her gut. That weekend, Des and Corporal Date Henmida Eustrian, this folds, seemed to stay at a respectful distance. The chance. You forced it still with a slow, controlled breath. In through the nose, for 4. Hold for 4. The do. The breathing of a woman holding a more, the deem nen. With leave request in his fist and tossed it into a nearby trash can. The d. And fall. Strine, to take PC. They filled the waiting area with the scent of pine sweat and government issue fabric. The dinged. They ore a vire, the do. As she prot, unend, the dixocitas. Wrapped it. Tulu, dit. But as she worked, she heard them talking. They were rangers, the Dupimpi. Was complaining more about missing a crucial part of his pre-deployment workup. The debtor, furred, and the inali, inide, and, you, deduce it. All handed that saken, in the razor watched the exchange, the tame, and Hall, on the beer, perfated, the exindus, tempater, the blacks. It was the shattering of the plate glass of the main entrance. Station, why, in, the end total. Wave of screams washed through the ER. A sound of pure animal panic. People dropped to the floor. Nurses scrambled for cover behind desks. To Denton C. Besturks the B. Dis. What faith? His mouth opened, incomply. His Hayden, one my, Tom knew. As the walk, the tess, doctrine apparis denden negra, D, and peepri, day, full upon she had not. She had not fad, think from a wound. For men, they were a displacement, but bullet wand past her head, close enough for her to feel the displacement. Identic. He had shoved his friends behind a row, adult. He was in Gus treated en das, one nond, tanden, in des per for and bu, the de pers, screepy and de pixer, it had. Overrode her mission to remain hidden, the D. Alara moved. She did not ask for permission. She did not shout a warning, the tame. She slapped. The word was not a request. Ten incended knower, its soft, hesitant, the terrifying potential energy. Wand, the uncelebrated test, the tus, the clud, and high D and po, the tane, her feet rolling from heel to toe, a silent predatory gait, the do. Lock, and enspree and they, you now, the stricket. Her fingers agree, and the pistol clattered to the floor. The tisk. Willed that? I. The biller incept into her, the grand. The entire takedown took less than a second and a half. It was a masterclass in brutal, efficient violence. The dent. Stundis blau. He swung his gun toward her. It is. Centuriant. Bart, not looking to see if they obeyed. She knew they would. The den trio, Tapris, the dadding. From her new position of cover, she began to issue orders. The dept, still huddled behind the desk, flinched. Yes, get me 2 large bore Ives, a liter of saline, and a full trauma pack. The G, her mind stir, ib, thandix, the do. She scral bland the pausterbelik, and padding and pulling. What a printy all. And a tampe in bene, conde, the do, under reamed exiden maymin in mayet, the do. He had maybe 90 sexed, dim. Keep pressure on that shooter, don't let him advance. Use the chairs for cover, the two in the repo day. The den at the san, alar again, the brie, tense the limb. She landed beside him, her hands already working, the datter by. Her fingers found the wound, a ragged tear in his jeans, the deem. Her face pale, the dan. Sit Chiro, her voice trembling slightly. Good, Alara said, her tone clipped efficient, the nads. Maya handed them over. Alara cut away the rest of the man's pant leg. The wound was massive. The femoral artery was severed. The deafness. Has. Hemed is working with a deftness and speed that seemed inhuman. The tant. Do not let up. No matter what, understand. I understand, Maya said, her voice solidifying with purpose. Danger at zend. The ris. Wad. Ting. Te. Steriendus fur. Darien men do. Alara's voice cut through the air. Evans blinked. Ma'am? Your belt. It is belt. Give it to me. In slid the heavy riggers. The sands. She looped it high around the wounded man's thigh. The fair. The pulsing. Folio of head, id, tau. In P, you are, the teacher. She looked at the corporal, the one who had t-shirt Orber. His eyes were wide. Yes, ma'am. The ma'am was reflexive, instinctive. On my mark, make some noise. A deep, steadying breath. She got into a low crouch, her body a coiled spring. Ding to Ron. The shooter flinchy. Ind. Indagi. Shibu vor stuar. The shooter heard her turned. His eyes went wide with panic. He tried to bring his gun around. It didn't swing the Buerkli. Again, he was Chet's. The impact lifted him off his feet and sent him flying backward into the wall. The crunch, the gun falling from his lips. Their silence descended upon the ER, the Duber. The frantic beeping of a few monitors. Tangwis. Still hell, and slowy. Taj, what then T, what's secure, what's secure. Only then did she allow the operator to recede to do. She knelt beside Maya. Ich and level, corporal. She asked, her voice quiet again, but now imbued with an unshakable authority. The do. 10. The do. The corps pursed. My name and my name is Davis, he stammered. Pain level. Corporal Davis. She repeated, her gaze unwavering. Din. Thou what one tell me bo and done by poor am nan named lying nothing. She gestured to the gang member whose life she had just saved, though, except to buy of the storm, the ding B, in the Meiji N. What in God's Taj? You are reckless. You are insubordinate. And you are a liability. He shrieked, his voice cracking with hysteria. Hey. Security. Your Seawar. Core fire. Vance. Tatters. Shattered front entrance was suddenly filled with men, and stacked as Tad. Yon men's green berets, Iwan, and 10 seconds. Their movements a silent, deadly ballet. The entire ER was locked down in under 10 seconds, a different kind of me. The staff froze invasion of a different sort, did ours. Butst. Water off, the do. Hall and mice. Deducing. Then his eyes moved to the woman, kneeling on the floor, her back to him. Her hands covered in blood as she worked. Deduction, use and tourniquet. Something clicked. Who's in charge here? The colonel's voice was calm, but it commanded the attention of the entire room. The pofter. I am Dr. Aris Thorne, chief attending physician of this department, this out. His eyes were still fixed on Alara. He took a few steps closer. He saw a wisp of dark hair that had escaped her messy ponytail, the Seambers, and Priyu, and on duck, the tears. Nearest, disperse. You walt, he said, his voice barely a whisper, yet it seemed how the head. Pinkier. It said, Amon all leer. Trying to, Dr. Thorne stared, his mouth agape. What did you call her? Do, and it chase, and it was like being pinned by a laser. Den. You fired her, Jax. You fired her, Jackson asked. She was insubordinate. She assaulted me. She's a menace. Thorne stammered. Do. The Kern, the attorney, the Yornane staff, and the wounded ranger, who was now being tended to by a medic from his own team. He pieced the story together in an instant, as Exmoing, third voor Dan, Exmovering en Discher, een eind en die. Al per uur, du hostels, nu er acts in progress, headed. Spes probable. I see. He looked at her blood-soaked hands. You did all this? I reacted to the threat, sir. It was the closest she would ever come to taking credit, to be. Tsively, in tea, one beria, te, cade, blapper, if we're not cleven de sevs, in hostile territies, to do. Maya stared, natis, new. She used tengral. Ones you probably deem reckless, are techniques she helped write the manual on for all of Joint Special Operations Command to do. She has performed surgery in the Bakitne and is Fonda. He took a step closer to Thorne, who was now sweating profusely. You stood here frozen, while my ranger was about to be executed to do Hendy. She, a Sibiwan in this room today. Jackson's voice rose to a roar that shook the entire department. You didn't know to do. You judged a person notter to chef. He turned to one of his men. Sergeant, get the hospital administrator and the head of security down here. Now, adapt. And dissective amend to VS. Sir Thorne looked like he had been physically struck. Tej, Hage, Kachem. His kingdom dissolved in the face of true quiet competence. Deep, Pertuptanir. We heard chatter about a shooting near the base. Do, Jack, she said, using his first name. For the first time, Tinky. Round the pulset, no quiet, Taindo. He paused, his expression turning serious. We have a situation, a bad one. We need a new lead instructor for our 18 Delta course. The last guy washed out, down. How to think? Alara looked down at her hands. Still covered in someone else's blood, the dimity, as a shield, but all it had done was make her a target for petty tyrants. An O with an expression. She looked at the young rangers, who saw her not as a clumsy nurse. Then, it's six siva, blood. The skills that had cost her so much to ensure that fewer young soldiers had to come home with ghosts of their own. Day, to do per endesti. She looked Colonel Jackson in the eye, to do. Wah, the opera, contrast. How's that wrist feeling, specialist? Evans looked from the colonel to Alara, his eyes shining with unshed tears of gratitude and awe. It hurts, sir, he said, deaf. He said to tell you that your bedside manner is still terrible. For the first time in a very long time, the corner of Alara Vance's mouth twitched into something that might have been a smile. To do, mount, and 5, 10.